Hey everybody, welcome to GGS Railways. My name is Greg. This is my YouTube channel. Alright, so this is kind of an update to the last update of the severe weather flooding threat in our area. Fortunately, it looks like we have completely avoided that, so we are good to go. Other than I kind of tore up my train room, didn't I? And it's not just in here either. The secondhand layout had to move, and the layout that I had with the two 4x8 pieces of plywood actually has stuff stacked on top of it that we didn't want to, for the water to run or whatever. As a matter of fact, pretty much there's nothing on the floor in this house. But anyway, so all right. So with adversity, problems, challenges comes thoughts and whatever. And I have a few. So first thought was or is that I had no clue that I had that much stuff. When you have to pick up everything, you have to move everything, you have to handle everything, you realize just how much stuff you have, and I have a lot of stuff. That's not a complaint, by the way, but it is something to think about for the future and how we handle things and how we do things, and probably we'll change a few things going forward. So, all right, we got to reconstruct the room here, and that gives us both challenges and some opportunities, and I have some things in mind that we may do. The G-scale track, I'm thinking I would like to go the entire, well, where I can make it go. I can't move the fireplace, but where we can make it go and kind of encompass the entire room, the outer perimeter of the room. That's what I'm trying to say. And so I'm thinking we may do that, which will open up some more opportunities over in that area over there. And I'll pan across here in a second. I'll show you guys kind of what I have in mind. Now, keep in mind though, and I have to keep in mind that this is not a permanent thing. I do have another structure that I am actually building higher in elevation for anybody that might be interested, much higher in elevation. And that will be the permanent home of all this. This is just while we are building that, so I need to keep that in mind. We got derailed by construction costs and some materials cost. If you're building anything or constructing anything right now, you know that the prices are quite eye-popping, especially if you've ever been in that business before. Things that you think are going to be one price, you can pretty much triple it, and that's where you are. So, all right. Anyway, so let's take a look around the room. Maybe we'll talk about some stuff and, maybe things that we can do to make things better in the future. Maybe, in this same scenario, maybe make it easier for me to do this more quickly, because frankly, had it been like one of those things where a literal flash event, whether it be a storm or a flood or whatever, there was no way that I could possibly get all these buildings and trains and everything up quickly. It just was not a possibility. Now, for those of you that say, well, that's simple, simply elevate the thing, to a table. Well, think about that. Where would you walk? How would you get to some things? For instance, if this was all an elevated surface, how would I get to where I'm standing now? It's really not possible. You need the walkway. And yeah, so nice thought. And I agree with you, but in this particular scenario with this many tracks, it's not possible. Now, downsizing, that's possible, but does that work in my mind? No, not really. So, all right, let's take a look around the room. Let's see what we can think about. Let's see what kind of thoughts I have, and let's see what you guys' comments are on that. Now, do feel free to comment down below on what you think, or improvements that you think we could make, or suggestions, how we can make this easier to get it up, to put it back down. Anyway, let's do it. All right, let's address the elephant in the room, almost literally. So we have this piano in here, and it is a baby grand piano, and I thought about moving it, but then I thought, well, where would I move it to? That's really the only place for it in this house, so I guess it will stay there. But I mean, fortunately, it only has the 1, 2, 3, 4 legs, and we can go around it, so that's not that big of a deal. Just never thought about it quite that way, and frankly, the way I ran my wires and stuff, it wasn't possible before, so we now have that opportunity. Now, speaking of wires, if I was to want to make this G-scale track right here go all the way around the room, clearly some of my wiring and stuff would have to change. Now, keep in mind that those transformers are elevated right now, so normally the slack you see going to the floor would already be on the floor. And yeah, so anyway, we may have to incorporate some like, you know, conduit type solutions or something to keep the wires a little more organized and together, to where, you know, we could put another track along, well, basically kind of that baseboard right there. So all right, so yeah, it could come around the room. And of course, you know, the fireplace, that's really not movable. I mean, it is movable. It's not a permanently installed fireplace, but that thing is quite heavy. I'm not moving it. So all right, then of course, you know, we got the train storage and so forth over here. Let me move my tripod a little bit here. Excuse the camera work. Then over here, that's well, it looks like a big mess at the moment, but that's generally where I sit to control the trains, and that's for the controls for the transformers that you saw over here. That's what those boxes on top of the table are. And they have remotes that go over here, and then there's more transformers there on the table. You can't really see them for all the wires and stuff that I have piled up that I didn't want to go underwater. So all right, so then we got, you know, some train storage, whatever. And then along this wall we have this particular thing, which I guess would have to move in some capacity, some way, if we were to do the G-scale around the perimeter. But I really think I want to do that, and I don't think it'd be that hard. And especially in this situation, I've thought about a lot of things in the past, but you know, in this configuration, it simply was not doable without a lot of work, which we're fixing to do anyway. So all right, that's kind of what I'm thinking. So okay, on the buildings, you know, we had the buildings, and some of them are lit, some of them are not. Thinking on the lit buildings, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some sort of plug connection where the power comes up, well, in this case from the floor, and where it'll be like a quick connect where we can just grab the buildings. What I did last time was I just cut the wires, and the wires are still sitting there where the buildings go. So that won't be that difficult to get connected back up, but it certainly would be easier if I had some sort of quick connect to where we could just, you know, plug and unplug the buildings. So that also would make to where we could, you know, change buildings out or move their location or whatever. That might be fun. So all right, so yeah, that's kind of the thought so far. Now, once again, keep in mind that this is not a permanent place for the trains. Once again, we are building a place. It's just being really slow due to cost. And yeah, so but anyway, so let's see. You know, you can maybe notice, and probably some of you have already noticed, that, you know, I kind of laid a little piece of fast track over here, kind of thinking about the future. Because that track right there, the one that it's laid on top of, is a problematic track. If you've watched any of my live streams and you've seen the crashes in that particular quadrant, that's usually the track that causes those. So yeah, that was kind of my first thought, so that tells you a lot. All right, guys, well, you know, I just wanted to give you guys an update. This will be the last update on the weather, because this is not clearly a weather channel. This is a train channel where we run, you know, toy trains, and you know, much more lighthearted and less serious topics than you know, your home flooding. All right, guys, well, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate your comments, your likes, your concerns, your camaraderie. You guys really are the best. So I think until next time, this is it for now. GGS Railways out.